Good day to you. You're watching Beyond the Test Drive, and it is our 3-year, 40,000 mile ownership review update on our 2022 Mazda 3. This is the Carbon Edition. We did buy this in 2022. If you're new to the channel, curious about the Mazda 3, maybe you're going to buy a used one or a new one, you can check out our full playlist on this specific car. I'll put that up here, and I'll also put it down in the description so you can catch up on everything that's happened since we purchased this car. I think it was like April of 22, I think, April or May. But today we're going to do a full update since our last time, which was about a year ago. And we're going to cover sort of these topics. I'll put them right up there. We'll go into maintenance, issues we've had, gas mileage, wear and tear, general dislikes and likes about the car. And then at the end, I'll talk a little bit about pricing, what this one's worth with 40,000 miles and what the new ones are going for and some recommendations. Chapters are down there if you want to skip ahead. We'll do a little bit of an intro on the car and then we'll get it out for a drive. So a little bit of a quick recap here. This is the 2022 Carbon front wheel drive. This is the 2.5 naturally aspirated, about 187 horsepower. The Carbon Edition back then was a really good buy because you got this cool Polymetal Gray paint, you got the cool wheels, you got the red leather interior, and the big thing, I don't know if you can get it anymore, Mazda plays around with their features, is the Bose sound system, which is really good. It's a beautiful day. Mazdas are about driving. Let's go for a drive. As we get into the drive here, I would like to give a big hearty thank you for pressing play today. Really do appreciate that. Check out everything on our channel here at Beyond the Test Drive. If you like what you see, subscribe. We would love to have you along for the drive. Also, make sure you give this video a like today. That's probably the one biggest thing you can do to help small YouTubers or any automotive YouTuber channel out, regardless of size, is hitting that like button. Driving the 3. Okay, so not a full review here. I'll just go over some basic things. This is the 2.5, 187 horsepower. It's plenty. Keep in mind, this engine shows up in the 5, the 50, the 30. It also shows up in all-wheel drive variants of the 3. So this is the lightest power to weight ratio. And this is not a super fast stoplight car. It's like mid-7s to 60 miles per hour. It's really all about responsiveness of the 3. Throttle response, the 6-speed transmission is tuned almost like it knows exactly what you want it to do. So Mazda's really got this whole drivetrain sorted out, and it's been around for a while. It's getting to the point where it's ancient. So that's really all the inputs, the steering inputs, the brakes, you know, it's all about the connectedness with the car. And this is not the kind of car you're like, oh, let me go out on a twisty road on a Sunday morning and have a good time. It's really not that kind of car. However, when you are in it, doing whatever you're gonna do, it's a good time. And I've driven a lot of cars over the last 3 years since we bought this, and I always enjoy getting back in my 3 just because of the things it does really well. So here we are handling on some pretty tight turns. Mazdas are known for their lean, but again, it's all about the steering feel. This 3 especially has some great feeling steering. And I'll go ahead and get into one of my, I don't want to call it a dislike about the car, I'll sprinkle this one in right now, is that this steering, everybody knows it, is very slow. That's part of the Mazda way of doing things as far as turning in and keeping everybody nice and stable. I will tell you that you really do appreciate how slow it actually is when you jump in and out of other sporty cars. And yeah, I would say that the slow steering does detract from the driving fun. That's not a complaint. You buy this car knowing that. There are advantages to that. You know why Mazda has done it in all their cars, to keep nice, gentle entry and exit out of turns, and it does work. Ride quality, not the best, especially if you jump in and out of other small cars that are tuned for better ride quality, have an independent rear suspension. In general, our roads are pretty good, but whenever I go where the roads are pretty bad, I'm like, oh, I would not own this car if I had to ride these roads every day. All right, let's just do some more fun driving here. I got it floored there through the kick down switch. And that's the one thing about the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, is that it sounds pretty decent as it winds out. It doesn't sound like it's struggling. It's just a decent sounding 4-cylinder, and I can imagine folks with the manual, they probably have a pretty good time driving this. Again, you can see just kind of zipping along here, very connected to the road. You feel the road, good steering inputs. And then the brake pedal is one of my favorite things about driving the car. It just feels really good, and I'm very hard on other cars. If you watch our other reviews, I'm very hard on brake pedal feel, because this Mazda 3 will spoil you. Yeah, but let's dive into wear and tear real quick. So wear and tear to me is consumables, brakes, tires, wiper blades, how the interior is doing, how the exterior is doing. These Bridgestones, 40,000 miles on these guys, and I cocked the tire over just to take a look at the tread life. I'm looking forward to getting rid of these Bridgestones, and you can see they probably are getting there. But they're holding out pretty good. The nice thing about these Bridgestones is there's no cupping. The alignment on this car is very good. They're still quiet. There's no weird noises coming from them at all. Been rotating them every 5,000 miles. So anyway, I know there's better tires out there that are gonna handle a little bit better than those, but so far they've been wearing pretty well, so pretty happy with the wear. Again, I'm sure there's some better tires, and we'll look forward to the day when we can put those on there. As far as the exterior goes, this Polymetal Gray paint, we're not big zealots about car care, but we do keep Turtle Wax products, their ceramic care stuff on here. Been holding up pretty good. The big thing is there's no chips. There's no chips on the paint. There are some things that I have done, or other people or other humans have done. You can see a big little dent and scuff there. There's a couple little dings here and there on the paint. Again, not the Mazda's fault. And around on the front here, I think I pointed this out in the last video. This is pretty low, and I've hit it. And then something else I've done pretty bad is I've curbed this. Oh yeah, I've curbed this wheel. I can't remember when I did that, but that's a bummer. So, but it looks pretty easy to grind out and fix, so that's not a problem. So good wear and tear on the paint. On the interior, no issues at all with the interior as far as the leather seats. Again, this car is kind of a commuter car, daily driver. Not a lot of people get in and out of it, but the interior is all wearing well. Obviously, Mazda's the center console will get scratched immediately. We were gonna wrap it, never did. I guess you just kind of get used to living with these scratches, but this is absolutely silly. There's no point in me going into my gripes about Mazda and that piano black there. And a lot of people do see scratches on this plastic screen here, and we have also got scratches there. Crazy enough, these wiper blades, these are the original wiper blades, 3 winters, and they're still doing well. So when these get replaced, I will be going to Mazda and getting the original equipment fillers. There's no aftermarket here, because these are just doing excellent. This windshield did need to get replaced. It got hit by a rock, so this is a fairly new windshield there. One more wear and tear item is the brakes. 40,000 miles on these brakes. I think they could get to 50. Only at high speed will you get a little bit of shimmy from them, but they did get a good report at the last 5,000 mile mark. If you look under the hood real quick, that this 2.5 maintenance wise on this 2.5, just oil changes so far on this every 5,000 miles. Pretty religious about that. No oil burning, of course. Everything's fine under the hood here. Air filters, things like that have been replaced. Battery's still going strong. I know these Mazda batteries OEMs have a reputation of giving up the ghost after 3 years, so I would not be surprised if this doesn't get through the next winter, but right now it's doing pretty good. Okay, any issues? Have we had any issues with this in 40,000 miles? So let's just talk about the early days. We did have some weird popping noises with the stereo system. I think maybe a software update or something, but they went away within the first few months of ownership, so that was gone. No rattles and squeaks. I know there's been some complaints over rattles and squeaks. None here. This car is solid, again, very solid, no rattles and squeaks. That's a good thing. I hope that's again, I hope that's common. But if you have rattles and squeaks on your 22, this one was assembled in Mexico. The other ones do come from the Japanese plant. I think Mazda does pretty good on quality control. So, you know, our friends in Mexico, I think they've been assembling these pretty well. Again, we don't have any problems here. But comment below. We need to hear from you. The other thing is the power steering. I think I reported this in an earlier video. There's a little bit of a hiss whenever you put any pressure on the right or left. I'm pretty sure it's coming from the motor down here. It's so light and hard to hear that I would have to do some serious audio engineering to make it hearable to you. Is that a word? Hearable? Let you hear it. But I'm not going to do that. Now I can hear it, especially when I'm not talking or the radio's not playing. But in general, it's not a big deal. We did get the recall notice regarding the coolant fluid valve. As far as bringing that in and replacing it, that was a common failure. A lot of folks were complaining about that. And the way you know your car's having a problem is if it fails open, which I think is the failure mode on that, this car will not heat up. Now, ironically, we did have the failure, but it was like 3 days before my scheduled appointment to go in and get an oil change. So I was like, wow, but it did not heat up. It was a cold morning. Had to drive the car very gingerly to the Mazda dealer to get that part replaced. They replaced it, lickety split. They've extended the warranty on that part also. So all good there. No other issues with the car at all. Been very, very satisfied with what I would call the initial quality of the car. Engine wise, transmission wise, no hiccups, no rough idles, nothing weird like that. All right, so let's get into dislikes. Let's just get these out of the way. And they're not even dislikes, because nothing over the last 3 years with the car has made itself apparent or revealed itself. These are things we kind of knew going in when we purchased the car. But over time, you know, they start to wear on you a little bit. You start to get a little bit more appreciative of them. I already mentioned the slow steering, so we'll just move on by that. I think I've already mentioned that maybe I mentioned in another video that this passenger seat does not go up or down. There's no power on it. There's no lumbar. Again, we don't use this with two people too often, but when we are traveling and I'm sitting over there, I'm like, oh, I wish the seat would go up or down. I wish there was some power adjustments on it. Not a big deal. Again, some other dislikes. Again, these are kind of nits. Over time, I think I've become a little... I don't care for the steering wheel too much. It's big. It's a little hard for a leather wrap steering wheel, but it is thin. And I think versus some of the bigger, chunkier things out there, it would, you know, I think if you drive a car with a big chunky wheel, maybe depending on your hand size or not, they can be fatiguing too. So it's a good wheel. I just feel like I've been in Mazdas where this has been a little bit softer. Now, the only other thing I would mention, maybe not as a dislike, again, you know this going in, and that's that the first 3 years of ownership, you get free subscription to the Mazda app. Mazda app gives you your remote start. It also gives you access to how much gas mileage, how much fuel's in the tank, your tire pressure. It's kind of nice. Now that the 3 years is over, you got to pay 10 bucks a month for that. And I'm not going to do that. So I would have to say, yes, I would prefer remote start on the key fob like Honda does it. All right, let's go ahead and get into the likes. Many more likes than dislikes. Again, I can't find anything to dislike with the car, but let's get into the likes real fast, and that's right here. My number one like with this Mazda 3 is the highway, and that's a lot of things. Number one, the seat comfort. For some reason, these seats really do agree with me. I find them very comfortable for many hours. That doesn't mean all Mazda seats are that great. We do have a CX-9, and after a couple hours I'm really fidgety in those, but these are pretty good. Comparing it to all the competition out there, this car is pretty quiet. Out here, I think 69 dB at 70 miles per hour. We got a great Bose stereo system in here. It does really good in the 3. Sounds really, you know, I really enjoy the Bose system in here. I think the 3, because it's a small cabin, it does really well. So that's number, you know, what makes highway travel very good. This cruises very well at 70 miles per hour. You're a little bit below 2,000 RPM. Transmission kicks down really well for passing. It doesn't argue with you. It kind of knows, and it'll always hold gear. It's kind of right in the good range where it'll go up and over hills without having to downshift or anything. So this is the #1 thing, and for commuting on the highway or even doing travel, the 3 really does excel. Let's talk about fuel economy. That's the next chapter of this. Again, another advantage of the 2-wheel drive, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder version of this is that it does really good. We've done high 30s out on the highway. Every tank that I have filled up on this car over 3 years, 40,000 miles, I measure every tank. I keep a log of that. Every tank is between 33 and 35. There's never been a tank above 35 unless it's a trip, and there's never been a tank below 33 given the circumstances on how we drive the car. I haven't reset this trip computer in probably 5,000 miles, maybe even 10, and it's saying 33.9. I believe it. It's pretty good. So all in all, really satisfied with the fuel economy of the car because it's really consistent. Doesn't seem to be sensitive to weather or how you drive the car. And again, for the horsepower and performance, it's a good compromise. The first mod that's going to be done, and it's probably more cosmetic than useful. We're going to find out. We did buy the Cork Sport strut tower brace that we'll put on here, see if that makes any difference with turn in at all. With the slow steering, does it help at all? I doubt it, but it'll be a fun little upgrade. Look for a video on that in the future. The other mod that's in consideration again for this daily driver commuter car is maybe a better exhaust. I do like a good sounding exhaust. I've seen some videos of some really good axle back sounds. I just don't want it to drone on the highway because that's a big advantage of this 3 is how good it does out on the highway quiet wise. Put something in the comments if you have any recommendation. Not going to do coilovers, we're not going to lower, but I think tires, strut tower, maybe an axle back, it could be interesting. Oh, there is one other thing here on the 22 carbons, and that's that they did leave this chrome. One of our longtime followers, excellent cool guy, has blacked this out on his 3, and it looks really good. We just haven't done anything like that. Okay, so if you're here, you're looking maybe at buying this used, you own one of these, or you're thinking about buying it new. One other thing that's been nice is that this has been holding its value pretty good. So we paid in 2022, it was the worst time to buy a car, used or new. Mazda was the only company we called that had cars coming in and wasn't trying to go over MSRP on them. We paid out the door right around 28 for this. We got like 500 under sticker, and that's with destination and everything. No add-ons at all. New ones in 2025. I'm not sure if they have the Bose or not, but the Carbon 2025 2-wheel drive is coming in a little over 30, I think. So it's still a decent deal in this age of crazy high car prices. Trade on this, excellent condition, 40,000 miles. Again, very happy. You know, anything between 18 and 20 is kind of a realistic trade in on this car. And if you were going to buy this, you know, 21, 22, I've seen them out there in great condition, 30 to 40,000 miles. That's a good deal. So if you're looking for one, a used 3, low miles, been well kept, has a good record of its oil changes, and then is around that 20K mark, that's a good buy. I think a lot of people know that, and that's why the trade-in value of these is pretty good, because they're quick turns. They usually don't need a lot of dealer maintenance. There may be a few things the dealer has to do to resell, but in general, 30 to 40,000 miles is a good flip for a dealer. That's why you get a very low retail price to trade-in price on these. So holding its value very well. Okay, so what's next for our 3? We had thought about actually getting rid of it at one point because, you know, here on the channel, we'd like to get something new on the channel to do some long-term coverage on, but we like it so much we're going to keep it in the family. This is going to be a long-term car. I don't see this ever leaving. It may go to a relative or something, but yeah, really like this car for what it's trying to be, a daily driver. It's got some great style. Love the paint on it. And so yeah, pretty satisfied with this car. But we do need to hear from you on your experience with the 3, and if you have any questions. We have lots of Mazda content on our channel. We have the Turbo 3, the hatch, all the models in the lineup. We cover all of them. So again, we'd love to have you subscribe, check out all those other videos on our channel. So again, thanks for watching today. Leave us questions and comments below, and have a great day, morning or evening, wherever you may be.